Historic. We're diving on in today. This is a run back of this Lurrus Breach deck. This will be our second time playing this one through. Last time we played it, it felt very, very reasonable. So, the combo aspect of this deck. So, Underworld Breach here for 2 mana, when paired with 2 Diligent Excavators and 2 Mox Ambers, allows us to deterministically deck ourselves, and then we cast Thassa's Oracle from the bin to win the game, even once we've decked ourselves. I've liked this deck because it also has a pretty reasonable backup plan. So we have Lazav here along with Kroxa, and Lazav can copy Kroxa, or you can just escape Kroxa to beat people down. We've got Agonizing Remorse as a little bit of disruption. We've got Stonecoil Serpent here as another card you can play from the bin to mill yourself with Diligent Excavators, and it's just like a threat that you can play out to beat people down with. Notably, protection for multicolored comes up in a lot of spots. Notably, it doesn't get bounced by Teferi. And then we're kind of tying the room together with some Lurrus the Dream Den here. So it gives us some longevity and some repeatability to play through disruption. Lurrus can notably recast Underworld Breach from the bin. So, like, in a game that goes really long, you can, like, theoretically play Lurrus with a bunch of lands out, play Underworld Breach from the bin, and then use Underworld Breach to basically combo from an empty board that was just lands. So, let's go ahead and pop on into some matches here with this and see how it goes. One of the really sweet lines you can do with your deck that came up a couple of times last time we played this is you can play Lazav on 2 and then turn 3, play Kroxa, make them discard a card, play a Mox, copy Kroxa, attack with your Lazav Kroxa, make them discard another card, and hit them for 6. So, in addition to some really reasonably redundant combo draws, you also have really strong starts like that, which are sweet. Huh? That's probably fine. So Merfolk Secretkeeper in here to mill ourselves, fills value for Kroxa, but then also gives things to cast with Lurrus down the line. Okay, actually looks like a Underworld Breach mirror match here. I'll be in for a little bit of a race here, most likely. Hey, there's that Kroxa bin. So we're gonna get to copy Kroxa with Lazav next turn and start swinging in. From that fair backup synergy here that we talked about. One of the other sweet things to note here too is that Lazav keeps his name when he copies this, so we can actually escape the actual Kroxa as well. So you can have two Kroxas in play at the same time, basically, which is great. In fact, next turn, I might play Stonecoil Serpent for a 0 to just get my 6th card in the bin to escape Kroxa. Oh. Yep. Well, that's terrifying. Huh? Do I have anything? I don't really have anything to Wishclaw for, huh? I think we're just hoping we get another turn here. Yeah, Song of Creation seems real strong. Yeah, they're going to get to use Emery to play something out of the bin here. We're, unfortunately, going to be 2 points short here. Yeah, I gotta hope they get pretty unfortunate here. So, this lets them draw 2 whenever they play a spell. And they're gonna guaranteed have a Witching Well to play, so even if this is a blank, Emery lets them go. Yep, we have turned off their Shocklands. Worth noting that they do get to have Mox in their deck, though. Hey, Lord of the Pearl Trident. Thanks for the sub gift, I appreciate it. Thanks, Lord. They are milling us, which is interesting. They must have had a card on top of their deck they wanted to draw. Yeah, they must have had Mox on top. Yeah. Alright, did they find Underworld Breach yet? Alright, that bodes well for our hero. They have Stonecoils and Ornithopters. A pretty low chance to brick here. Now, oh, did they brick? Sick. Alright. You love to see it. Yeah, when they cracked that other thing for mana, that became very good for us. Legion's End seems good for getting rid of their Diligent Excavators. Unmoored Ego. Is this even an Ego matchup? Like, they have so many things that I would, like, need to Ego, right? Like, I don't think they're, like, a one-trick pony. If they don't have Breach, they probably can't full go off. If we take their Breach, they probably have a hard time, right? I feel like if I'm boarding this in, we're taking Breach with it. Yeah, and there's a real question of how interactive do I want to be post-board 2? Because there's like a number of cards that could be okay here. Like, on the draw especially, do I want to just become a control deck? Is that a possibility? Just become fairly interactive. I could, like, cut my Wishclaws and cut my Stonecoil Serpents. And, like, still have some combo potential, but largely just plan to beat down with Kroxa and Laz. That doesn't seem unreasonable. And let's try this plan. You love to see it. Okay. Okay. I think I Kroxa here first because they're down to 2 cards in hand. All right, do I name Song or Breach? Do I name Song or Breach? Or Confidence, Breach? I feel like it's Breach. Should I target artifact or enchantment? Sure. Oh, or exile a card from a graveyard. Yeah. They have Uro. They have 1 Song of Creation. They only have 1 Song of Creation. Yeah, definitely happy to name Breach here. They have an Uro. Kind of assuming we're going to see this, target this. Although we could see them... Yeah, we could see them Stonecoil us this turn. Which means I get to copy this. So this is protection for multicolored, so this cannot attack into this. That's not too big of a deal. If they're leaving this back. If we can't attack, that means they're leaving this back. I have Legion's End. I can also play another Kroxa. I can also combo kill them. So if I attack... They can trade Emery for Lazav, which isn't ideal. Alright, they've decided to race. Hey, Tater. Thanks for the brand new Tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Wow, decided not to exile anything from my bin. Sure. Alright, Lightning Bolt you. I think it's right to shock myself to bolt them here. Just because, like, it doesn't change my clock. And, like, they can just recast the Ornithopter with Emery here, but that's, like, not too big of a deal. What are we egoing next turn? Is it just Uro? We could just name Ornithopter. I think that might be a world we're living in. Alright, well that's probably the first time that's happened in the history of Magic. It's like, alright, let me ego Let me ego your Ornithopter real quick. I guess my line means that they can attack with Emery next turn, and then I'm dead the following turn, potentially. Soul Guide Lantern's really good here. It means I'm not going to be able to escape this Kroxa. It's looking like we might not be able to play through this Flood. So they get to attack me to 4. Well, that's a really bad draw at this point. This is a free 3-pointer here, at least. Man, they brought in a lot of graveyard hate. Do I like, if we go to a game 3, do I board out some of my breaches and, like, leave Wishclaw? Because, like, if this had been a Wishclaw, we could have killed them, potentially, right? Like, exiled that and cracked them for up to 12. Alright, need Legion's End, or we're dead. Bounce spell is pretty good. Maybe I just want my stone coils of my own. Maybe that's the play. I just want my own things like that. Heartless Act could have also shrunk it a little bit, yeah. I'm gonna go down to 2 breaches, I think. Bring these snakes back in. Nice, Tater. Yep. Yeah, next Hoots event will be on the 23rd. So, this Red Bull untapped thing. So, Red Bull's doing another series of tournaments on Arena that are going to be... It looks like they're actually running them through Melee, too, which is kind of sweet. But their website link for prizes, describing what the prizes are, like, is just a circle, and none of the links actually say what their prizes are. Or how the prize breakdown is. Yeah, we started with Pioneer this morning, Beansy. It's always good to get disappointment out of the way first thing. Well, it says they're having a $5,000 prize pool for their qualifiers. So interested to see. I wanted to see how that was broken down. But they have like 600 people signed up for their first event. So it's probably, the EV's probably hard to say exactly. I am excited to see more open entry tournaments though. I think open entry tournaments like that are like the bread and butter of what once made Magic amazing. Hope we see more of that for less E-League type things, more things that everybody can play in. I feel like with Arena, Wizards of the Coast like pitched too far in the opposite direction with too many like $100,000 first place prizes, and instead they should be focusing on running more tournaments that lots of people can play in. As opposed to giant prize pools for like, 50, 60, 70 players. Well, yeah, the fandom tournaments are actually exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like, the fandom tournaments were tournaments for a very specific subset of people. Very, very small subset of people that weren't really accessible to most. Whoo! That's a good one. That's great. Some good hits on the excavator there. Get to pressure their hands here a little bit. Alright, there's a patch this morning, sure. It's supposed to be a 0 downtime patch, though, so we should be okay. We're actually, like, really close to comboing them next turn, right? Sure, Fox, and did you want specifically Legacy, or is any format okay? I pinged you in Discord asking what details you wanted. Any format's good? Sweet. So let's start with this. And then we'll Underworld Breach. And then we're deterministic from this point, right? So we cast this for 0. We exile 3 cards. We mill 4 cards. We deck ourselves. We cast Thassa's Oracle. Yes, yeah, the Red Bull events are definitely going to stress test Melee. Excited to see Melee as a platform grow too. It's got a lot of really good features. Yeah, and now I hit a Mox, so I can start playing around a Mystic Dispute for Oracle. I don't have any specific standing desk I'd endorse. I know the specific brand that I have, Uplift, I'd recommend staying away from. They're one of the cheapest brands on the market, and they're one of the cheapest for a reason. The electronics in mine frequently have issues. I've heard good things about the manual desk Veridesk. It's one that's going to be on my list when I eventually look for new desks at some point, but with everything surrounding COVID, that's been pushed back. Can we cast Kroxa to get rid of their card? You know, it's actually a really good suggestion, huh? Just, like, make sure they're not about to do something to get us. Guess they had some kind of interaction. No, they're just on full control mode to bluff. Sure, so they're deterministically dead. So again, Thassa's Oracle's in the bin. Get to go ahead, make our manas and stuff. Eight cards left in my bin, in my deck. Filling it up here. Yes, Underworld Breach makes Kroxa escape for only 2 mana, and Kroxa does not care how you escaped it. That stays in play. Yeah, I don't need to flow mana anymore, is correct. Alright, moving on up. I feel like this one's probably gonna have another good set. We'll probably get this one added to the website. It's definitely, the last time we played this, it felt like the best Breach variation that existed. Did we restart? Just because they've started maintenance doesn't mean the patch is available for download, Curtain Sheep. I think I'm supposed to mulligan this. Double tapped land. No red mana. This is okay. Probably bottom of Wishclaw Talisman. Alright, let's see how this goes. Tempo is probably a challenging matchup. Oh, was I supposed to just play this as a 1-1-on-1? Probably not. Let's take a peekaboo here, huh? There's supposed to be an announcement regarding Historic this afternoon at about 4:30 p.m. Central. So that's about 6.5 hours from now. How's this deck's Fires matchup? There isn't really a Fires deck in Historic that sees much play. Lord of the Pearl Trident, thanks for the sub-gifting. The aggro decks have better tools in this format than they do in Standard, which lets them run down Fires a little bit more consistently. In my experience. A little bit of reach. You love to see it. I assume this is about to get countered. We'll go Shock Wishclaw here, I think. How's Pioneer this morning? A flaming dumpster fire. Hey, Windowhead. Thanks for some sub-gifties. I appreciate it. You're having a good one. I don't actually have anything in my bin at the moment that's useful with this. Just a 3/2 lifelinker. I think I just pass. Is Pioneer still combo central? Yeah, it just, the big thing about Pioneer is that it just feels like Modern Light. It feels like it has all of Modern's downsides without any of the real upsides of having like a bigger card pool and sweet combos and stuff. Aiza Dave, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. This is unfortunate. They get to trade with my Lurrus here and then tap this for a turn. Pioneer doesn't have Blood Moon at least, I guess. It's like technically correct. Welcome to the chat, Dave. Can I get anything useful out of my deck here with this Wishclaw Talisman that's more useful than whatever they'd get? If I just, like, go get a 4/4, is that crazy? I feel like that's not crazy. It's like, go get another Serpent. I run the risk of that happening, but eh. Hey, Barbaric. Thanks for the sub-gift. I appreciate it. Ryan tells me it's going into maintenance soon, but I can't find anywhere on my client to tell me when or what that means. That basically just means you're going to need to restart your client and download an update here shortly. This is our Garfield intended magic demonic tutor for 4/4s, right? Right. Now, with Secretkeeper drawn, I think I actually just get Kroxa here. To flip those into the bin and then do this. Correct, yeah, if they counter Kroxa, it's not a big deal. That's exactly right. Just use Underworld Breach to basically Snapcaster Mage my Snapcaster Mage. Hey, thanks for the 12 months, Prime. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So we'll do this, and then we'll play the Mox, and then we'll play this using Lurrus for 1. Go. Again, I actually really like this deck. Like, the fair game plan that, like, Kroxa and the Serpents and the Lurrus provide, while also having a combo finish, is, like, kinda awesome. Like, I definitely enjoy it. Heartless Act, Allegiance End in, some Mystic Disputes in here against their mostly blue deck. What do I want to trim? Honestly, it's probably just an Underworld Breach. Maybe some Wishclaw Talismans. Agonizing Remorse I could take or leave. It can clear counterspells out of their hand. Lurrus is the definition of fair, chat. This is a mid-range value card. So, like, a lot of the same people who have been complaining that Lurrus is unreasonable are, like, the same people that complain that formats have too much combo in them. So, like, basically those people are never going to be happy. Thanks for the 12 months, Spicy Hot Chocolate. Go forth and defend the realm. I'll trim around the edges here for the last couple. I think I like trimming the Wishclaws post board in a lot of situations. As a free 8th card, I wouldn't call it fair. Y'all have no idea what the definition of fair means. And again, just so my position is abundantly clear, if you think the 8th card from these companions is overbearing, do you just never play a game where you mulligan? Is it unwinnable for you to win a game when you mulligan to 6 and they keep 7? Oh, it's not? Really? Because being down 1 card doesn't necessarily make or break everything about a game of Magic? Weird how that works. I get the companions are different, and I get that it's hip to complain about them because they're different, but, like, exercise just, like, an ounce of critical thinking skills. They're either going to announce HA3 or they're going to announce Amonkhet Remastered. One of those two things will happen tonight. New thing bad. Yes. Like, that's basically, it's basically the TLDR summary. New thing bad. Yeah, maybe it could be both. They could also just be announcing a more formal roadmap, talking about how they're going to get features added. That could be a real possibility, too. Let's just keep the board clear here. This is actually really good against us. What he says with double Heartless Act sitting in hand. Yikes. Heartless Act having a real downside here. The pro multicolored is useful. You're not wrong. That's a good thought. We could have double Heartless Acted it. Actually didn't think about that. Do I just pass here? Is there a 1-mana counter? Yeah, we could have gotten Spell Pierce if I tried to double Heartless Act last turn. Yeah, Dive Down could have also gotten us. Those are both cards they're realistically playing. It's a little aggressive, like if they hit like an unsummon or something, but I think I also need to like close the game out here. I guess they could have like a Tricky Dick too. If they would have end-step Tricky Dick, they could have diddled this and then hit me with this in the air, and that could have been bad. Yeah, maybe this attack is wrong. Yes, Tricky can take away pro multicolored, is accurate. I think I'm on the submit 0 plane here, right? Kind of just looking for a Kroxa at this point. It's just like mostly a free roll, right? What's up, my dude? You won Mario Party?
Well, Mommy helped me.
Mommy helped you? That's okay. It's okay to have help with games sometimes.
Well, Mommy played.
Daddy has all Twitch chat helping him play his game. Help is a strong word. Fair. Listen, I was trying to give you credit, chat. We are currently being invaded by tiny people. Can I have that back, please? Before you make a mess? Before you make a bigger mess?
I want some water.
Well, get a water cup from upstairs. This is my water while I work.
Now we play you. No. We're just gonna play the bird game.
Do you see how Jacob closed the door? When you leave, you should close the door. You want to be a helper and take that bowl upstairs for me?
Wait, are you gonna play the bird game?
No, we're playing the card game, dude.
Bird game.
You want to play the bird game?
Yeah, but
Maybe we can play the bird game somewhere later. Right now, Dad's playing the card game, okay? We can play some Overwatch later?
Well, I'll play Overwatch by myself right now. I can't set it up, and Mommy don't set it up.
Oh. Well, you should wait. Say, Mommy, when you're done with what you're doing, can you set up Overwatch for me, okay? I bet she will.
Can you set up Overwatch?
I cannot. I bet if you wait for Mommy to finish what she's doing, she will. Close the door behind you. The door didn't latch shut, but he, like, pushed it closed, so I'm going to call that progress. I'm gonna call that progress. Baby steps, chat. Yeah, closing the door is a Jacob exclusive feature at the moment. Alright, Hero. This could be a challenging matchup. Especially with Hero on 2, if they're able to disrupt us while providing pressure. Wait, automatic closer like they have on doors in retail stores. No, I have not considered doing that, actually. Merfolk Secretkeeper here, doing its best pseudo removal impersonation. Does Lurrus limit your X spells to X less than or equal to 2? Lurrus limits your X spells to their total converted mana cost being less than 2. So if there's other mana in there with it, X is even less than 2. But Stonecoil Serpent, which is just X, can be cast for 2. Do this first, so that way if we surveil a card we want to the top, we're not milling it away. Dovins, veto your Merfolk Secretkeeper. Sure. Yeah, that's definitely a legal play. I think I'm keeping that there, so that way I can Lurrus plus 2-drop next turn. I mean, that counterspell to me kind of screams like they have another counter in their hand. Maybe like they have another veto, for instance. It's perhaps the expectation. Quiet, Kirin. Thank you for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Well then. So I get to do this. And then this finds me a serpent. And then I need serpent to find me some Mox. Alright, there's a Mox. So you need serpent first because a single serpent loops itself, whereas you need 2 Mox to loop. Oh, and I've not cast anything with Lurrus yet. That's great. Gives me a couple extra cards here. So I need to find a second Mox to fully go off here. But I have a number. I'm only losing 1 card each time I do this, so I'm pretty likely to get there. So this comes into play as 0. It goes back to the bin, and now I can cast it again. It just cost me 3 cards every time I do this, but I'm adding 2 cards to my bin every time I do it. And there's the other Mox. So the other Mox makes us deterministic, because deterministic is having 2 Diligent Excavators in play. And the second Mox gives me enough mana to cast the other Diligent Excavator here. Hey, Dwight, thanks for the 50 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So now we go Excavator. Oh yeah, I could also copy Laz there. It's true. It's a good thing to point out. I almost didn't have enough cards in my bin. So yeah, I could have potentially copied Laz there. Copied with Laz. I should have done that. You don't lose blue mana on the Mox. Laz will still be blue. And again, now we're milling 4, but exiling 3. Yeah, Laz keeps his name and stays legendary when he copies something. So now we can deterministically put the entirety of our deck into our graveyard. And we're making mana with the Mox whilst doing so. Which means that we will eventually have our deck be empty, and then we'll cast Thassa's Oracle and win the game with the trigger. If you're not someone who clicks quickly, this deck takes a little while to execute. When they make you go through the motions. Alright, so Legion's End seems good. Mystic Dispute may or may not be okay. One thing that's worth noting about this 75 that honestly is probably wrong, that I'm gonna probably revisit later, is that we don't have a way to answer Leyline of the Void in our 75 at the moment. So some number of what's it called in our deck? The black sacrifice and enchantment card? Yeah, Libation. A pair of Libations in the sideboard is probably good. How hard is it to win when they exile your Thassa's Oracle? You just copy Kroxa with Lazav and attack them. If you haven't watched this whole set, you can watch and see other games where we win without even thinking about comboing. There are plenty of games where you win on a fairly fair game plan. In fact, I'm going to trim a Breach and a Wishclaw post board here. You're cold to Cage. Yeah, I guess you don't have a way to take Cage off the table either. That's fair. Especially with the Wishclaw Talismans, we probably want some way to kill artifacts and some way to kill enchantments in the 75. Libation deals with enchantments, but not artifacts. FDA is asking hand sanitizer manufacturers to make their products taste worse. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it's the children. I'm sure all of the sudden it's children that are the ones that are eating the hand sanitizer and why we need to make it taste worse. And not because the president of the United States implied we should come up with a way to ingest disinfectants. It's definitely suddenly because of children, right? It's definitely because of kids. Thanks for the third of a year, Sabin. Our opponent is disconnected. Oh, and they're back. Yeah, Ascian looks good. Callous dismissal for Leyline. Maybe. I feel like I'd rather just have ways to actually destroy them. Catch you later, Zerim. I think we're supposed to just Legion's End on 2 here. Just like take a peek at their hand, get rid of their pressure. Whoo! Whoo! We got the twofer, chat. We got the twofer. You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. Alright, so if they bonk my excavator here, we just like go Lurrus, replay it, which is great.
I'll protect
Alright, filling up the binge, like looking for a Kroxa here at this point. No dice. Hit another excavator though. Could be useful.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Don't we win? How? Instead of asking me, don't we win with a question mark, tell me how we win with a statement. So now I can make blue And then I'll play this, mill ourselves. Alright, there's a Kroxa, and there's a Breach. I'm short a land, though, right? If I Lurrus, I can't cast Breach this turn as well. Sure, but if I replay Mox from the grave, chat, I can't then also play... If we replay Mox from the grave, we can't then also play Underworld Breach from the grave, because Lurrus only lets you cast one thing per turn. In an okay spot to win next turn, potentially, though. Hold the Serpent because the Ashiok down tick. Now the Stonecoil Serpent pressures their Planeswalkers, which is nice. You blink Lurrus, can you cast another spell for the R when it re-enters the battlefield? I don't know the answer to that question offhand. Yeah, I have no cards in hand. I only have 4 spells to choose from. Okay.
Don't worry, I got this.
Huh. So... How many cards are in my bin? 21? Double removal there. Yeah, I don't have blue off of Mox at the moment. So I can't, like, Lurrus, Breach, and then use the Mox to get going. I think the play is, like, Lurrus into Lazav. And then we'll kill Teferi. Now, how dare they have the audacity to interact with us? Yes, yeah, Lazav being able to copy Lurrus is big game as well. Tushin, thanks for the 20 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. What do we have in exile? Just a Merfolk Secretkeeper. They're going to get to trigger both of these, though. So they're going to get four looks with these. That they potentially... Land. That's some good variants. Can Lazav copy Stonecoil Serpent for Pro Multicolored? You can copy the 0/0. However, you won't be pleased with the result that you get from it. Copying the 0/0 is in fact a legal play. Added Fibblethip. I don't know that I really have a card I want to cut for Fibblethip. I agree that occasionally you hit an issue where you don't have blue, but like you also generally have ways to play around that and think through it. You think Wishclaw felt slow? I've actually really liked Wishclaw. Wishclaw has been, you're right that it is a little bit slow, but it lets you win a lot of games that you have no business winning. having access to Wishclaw in the post-board games once we put ways to destroy artifacts and enchantments in our 75 will be useful as well. Yeah, the turn you combo Wishclaw only costs 1 mana to activate, and Wishclaw triggers your Diligent Excavators to fill your graveyard up. You've been trying Stitcher's Supplier. That's interesting. I think the discard spells are pretty good. Maybe Stitcher's Supplier is better than the 0-4 Merfolk, though. I would believe that Stitcher's Supplier is better than Secretkeeper, perhaps. Although this card does block really well, which is nice. This hand had a black source in it. It's really good, but I don't think I can keep on 7 with no black. Can I have the 7 back? Why is Fiend Artisan good? This is basically the 7. Feels bad, man. Fiend Artisan is a 2-year target that Brick Walls aggro. Brick Walls aggro is a strong statement. Our deck doesn't have that many creatures in it. Feel like that's overstating its ability to size. Also, as exemplified, getting black on 2 also isn't trivial. You also don't have that many other miscellaneous creatures. I don't know. I feel like pulling off the Kroxa Agonizing Remorse plan. I've really liked having a touch of interaction in my deck. And having a non-zero backup plan. Yeah, you win a lot of games with Lazav and Kroxa. And I want 4 of them because you want to Lazav Kroxa consistently, in my experience. You like Noxious Grasp over Claw here. What green or white cards do you expect them to play that you consider must-kill cards? Like, do I care about them generating value with Lurrus? I only brought in Legion's End because Priest of the Forgotten Gods is a must-kill card, and Noxious Grasp doesn't kill Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Yeah, something that comes up a lot is you'll play Lazav on 2, and then on 3 you'll play Kroxa plus a Mox, and get to attack on 3 with a 6/6, which is great. Very, very powerful. I mean, Lurrus is good against our fair game plan. Can't I just combo them? Is that allowed? I think I'd like to just combo them. On average, a lot of the time. Like a lot of the games where like their Lurrus is good are probably games we're not winning regardless, I would assume. Mox is actually really good here, huh? Worth noting, we cannot combo if Thassa is in play. Sure, but they're going to activate this Priest of the Forgotten Gods at some point. He says before his opponent activates the Priest of the Forgotten Gods. feeling like. Abzan Aristocrats with Lurrus. Seems sweet. Alright, let's start with this and see what we draw. There's a chance with this breach we just kill them this turn, right? We just need another Mox. Alright, so they're dead. And they know that they're dead. Did I bring in Heartless Act here? Heartless Act kills Lurrus and it kills Priest. Your tier 3 good? Yeah, can you submit it through the forum, Time Lord, just so I remember? Just put the details in the comment section. Discard spells actually probably aren't very good here. Maybe I'll keep my Wishclaw. Extinction Event. This might actually be sweet here. I don't know if this card's good in our sideboard. I think I'm cutting this to fit in the enchantment and artifact removal, but it might be okay here, so let's give it a try. Hand's pretty good. Are we getting to Laturi soon? I play this deck for a little over an hour. If this game doesn't take very long, I'm going to play one more because I like this deck. So probably another half hour or so. Till the Laturi deck. Yeah, I think we lead on this. Just start filling up the bin here. We've already got a breach in here. We're looking for some Mox at this point. Yeah, duress these. Hit plat forward the Winota deck. It made me feel things for sure, and it's straight fire. Yeah, I agree. It's a sweet one. I think I just take the hit for one here, right? Rather than fill up their graveyard and make their Fiend Artisan better. Lazav? It's not 2 extra syllables. It's the same one. Maybe it's Lazav? Who cares? This Cruel Celebrants are going to make it pretty hard to win a fair game here. If we're a little bit fortunate, this Lurrus is going to flip over some Moxen for us, and it's going to be wonderful. Alright, that's a Stonecoil Serpent. Do I want a shock to put that actually into play? I don't think so. I think I'm just milling myself to here. No, you can only play the creature half, the permanent based half. I don't think, like, those cards are good against aggro. You're right, Siphon X. I don't think this deck needs help against aggro. Do you? Do you think these matchups are hard? Like, if I thought these matchups were hard, I might consider that, but between Secretkeeper and the Serpent, I've not found them hard. Especially the Gruul matchup. Serpent does the Lord's work against Gruul. I have 12 cards in my bin. We just Breach here to start. See, I probably want to Kroxa out of my hand to start and see what we mill over. Alright, that's a Mox. So, we're looking for another Diligent Excavator at this point. Also need another Mox. Actually, just Excavator because I've not played a land yet for the turn, right? Serpent's been really good this set. Being able to cast it for 0. Shouldn't we cast the Merfolk? You can't cast the adventure half of the Merfolk. So every time I do this, I end up with 1 fewer cards in my graveyard. Whale poop. Alright. And we're home free. So, took us a little bit there, but we got there. So now this copies Diligent Excavator. Now we're deterministic. So, double Excavator, double Mox, Breach. So long as your Mox make blue mana, lets you deterministically win the game. Assuming your opponent has no interaction. Alright, let's see if we can hit the 5-0 or if we finish 4-1. Yeah, if you're playing this format, you probably want some cages or some ley lines in your 75. Also, creature removal is just good too. Like being able to keep Diligent Excavator off the table is good. How is Pioneer? How is Pioneer at any point? We played a bad deck and we had a bad time. Pioneer's probably fine if you're playing decks that are reasonable, but playing Bruise continues to get beat up. How do we beat people packing hate? Those are the hard games. The hard games are the easy games are the ones where people ignore your stuff. The hard games are the ones where people interact with you. Is Lazav stopped by Cage? No, Lazav's ability still works with Cage. And hey, look, this is one of those hands that I talked about earlier, where you get to go Lazav on 2, Mox Amber, Kroxa, copy Kroxa attack on 3. Now, this is a pretty good start for them on the play, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and Stonecoil Serpent. Go. Just like pro multicolored is just like so exceedingly relevant in a lot of random games. It's great. Yikes. Probably dead. So I think the line here is Shock, Lurrus, Mox, Snake for 1. Yeah, a bunch of phones must have just got an operating system update. Someone else recently was really amazed that their Twitch did a mini player window. And that's something that a lot of those platforms have done for a little bit now. It is sweet if you haven't seen it before. It's def not a new feature. It's horribly annoying. I see it. I don't know. I think you're in the minority on that opinion. Like, it's super convenient. Maybe if you multitask maybe if you singular task on your phone, but if you're multitasking, it's quite excellent. Oh, can I afford to shock myself to mill 4 here? I think the answer is yes. Normally when I close Twitch because you want to stop watching, sure. Yeah, exactly. That's not my experience. Okay. Hey, Cold Glow, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. So they have no cards in hand? So we go block, block, take 1, this does 1. We take 1, 1, and then 1, 1 again. So we go down to 2 here, and then I'm gonna copy Diligent Excavator and combo them next turn. Right? That's how this works. So they're dead? This deck is so good. Why is this deck so good? Yeah, there's a Mox in the bin. We milled a Mox earlier. So again, this is deterministic. Breach, double Excavator, double Mox. We mill our deck, we make blue mana, we cast Thassa's Oracle at the end. Dear Wizards, please stop printing Moxin. Please stop printing Moxin. Also, always target, always yield when. Same targets always yield win. Yeah, I'll be... If this deck doesn't put up results at the next Hoaglandia Open, I will assume it will only be because it didn't get played. Yeah, I'm sure a few people are gonna play it. For sure. And if like I said, if you're not playing this deck, you better have cages or Grafdigger. You better have cages or ley lines or some type of graveyard hate. Some amount of graveyard hate is needed. How is Mox making blue? Lazav. Lazav stays legendary and keeps his name. Our historic opponents today really don't value their time. I've had a lot of people have us click through it. God bless them. Alright, so they're playing a creature deck. I'm gonna board in Legion's End. Extinction Event actually seems pretty okay. Probably not too big on the discard spells. Rest of this seems fine. I don't know that Heartless Act seems very good against the Dreadhorde Butcher deck. I mean, like, maybe in a world where timing out could be a real danger. What reason are you playing Legion's End? Is there a card you have in mind? Yeah, it kills a bunch of Burning Tree Emissaries. You can also bring it in against Field of the Dead to time walk them. Or clean up after the escape shift. Legion's End is like fine against aggro. There's random threats to the format you want to exile. It's actually really good in the mirror because it takes all copies out of their graveyard too. So if you like tag an opponent's Diligent Excavator in the mirror, you like get the one in play, the ones in their hand, and their ones in the graveyard. Big fan of Legion's End in this format. That seems fine. Draw 4 cards. So, I think I just Secret Keeper and Stonecoil for one, just to play around, what's it called? And again, like, talking about how this archetype plays out against aggressive decks, I think these aggressive matchups actually tend to be pretty reasonable because of things like this. This version is do a better job than the one with the Abzan Elf dude. Again, I think saying, is this deck strictly better or strictly worse than the Kisis deck is lazy. I think it is not a strictly better, strictly worse than comparison. I think their decks, they have slightly different ways of going about how they win the game. Fortunate that instead of ending their Legion, they baked a pie. You mean it has different matchup, therefore isn't 1-to-1? Correct. People too often like to lump things that have one similarity all in with each other and act like everything just has to be the same, when usually that's pretty far from the case. Let me just play Lurrus here. Go. Yeah, the fact that our companion helps us grind and combo is really good. Doing both is stellar. They have a claim the firstborn here. I'm going to be pretty sad I played Lurrus out, but otherwise it's pretty fine. Yeah, I agree, McKinnon. A lot of Magic players would be best served to remove strictly better and strictly worse from their Magic card evaluation vocabulary. And instead of just making lazy, easy, strictly better, strictly worse comparisons that they just thought critically about and talked about the details of the cards, they'd be better off evaluating things. I feel like they would have claimed the Serpent, maybe. Oh, they can just do this too, right? I think I'm fine with that. That's not great for us. I don't know. Alright, hopefully we draw an untapped land here and I just get to Extinction Event. Do I want an Extinction Event? Yeah, I don't know if this card's very good in my deck. I have a bunch of different converted mana costs. I probably do just to get rid of the Lurrus, but it feels like it's worse than a removal spell here. I have to give up something as well. Feels bad, man. I think we're kind of dead here, huh? I think Languish would be a sweet spell to add to the format. I think Languish. I really like that. What's it called? Pioneer has Languish and Ritual Soot. Yeah, Heartless Act would have just been better there. I'm just gonna swap those. No, Languish is a very different card than Ritual Soot. Kills a different range of things. Yeah, questing beasts is towards the top of the list of details to think about there. Sand's not very good. Sure, yeah, they're just different cards. Like decks, like the which cards you miss. It's not really again one of those things where it's not a strictly better, strictly worse comparison. It's these things are kind of different and better in different spots. So there are actual deck building decisions that you have to think about. When Noda's on the daily deals, it's exciting. My Winota. Do 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 do. Maybe you have to download the patch. Someone said the patch was available for download. I mean, the Shock Lane's better late than never, right? It's going to bring the Dragonskull Summit into play on tap next turn. Alright, do you have a way to take my Excavator? Wonder if we'll see them sack the Butcher to trade here. Timing. Timing. A little bit of misclick there. Needed to let combat damage happen first there, opponent. Oh, you know what? I should have led on Kroxa, so that way, if I surveilled the card I wanted to the top, I could have kept it. That's an important detail there. So I should play these in the opposite order, play Kroxa and then Lazav, because that way, if I wanted to keep it, I could have. Yeah, we've all been there, right? Like the opponent knew in their head what they wanted to do, and then when they actually clicked to execute it, they slopped it up. Speaking as someone who's been sloppy like that a number of times, hard to blame them too much. How cool would it be to be able to select a time and have Arena play that date with cards in that format? I mean, you can direct challenge your friends with historic legal decks, whatever restrictions you want, Colin Buss. But yeah, like having, like one of their, I wouldn't be surprised if one of their rotating queues at one point is like historic standard from format X. What if I just escape Kroxa here? I have to exile everything, though. Lurrus just for the self-mill. Yeah, that might be okay. I think starting there makes sense. They get a free block with the Citrus Supplier here if they want, but then that's one less body for the Priest next turn. This takes a card out of their hand as well, which is nice. They milled over Claim the Firstborn. That's good. Don't want them. Don't want you to draw that one. That one's real scary against us. All right, check out the historic announcement on stream at 2:30. Yeah, I should still be, if I'm still live, that's 4:30 Central, so yeah, we'll probably still be live at that point. I'm planning to do 3 to 4 more decks after this. Yeah, Claymon, Kroxa, or Claymon are both real good and scary. Man, I wonder how big this Red Bull tournament's gonna be. They've got 736 players signed up for it already, and it's not till the 16th. I also wonder how many people, like, actually play, too. I'm sure there's gonna be some people that sign up for it that don't end up playing because it's a free roll event. I watch the stream quite a bit, but don't chat because it's subs only, and I keep forgetting that I'm subbed. Yeah, some gifts will do that, Rat. Welcome to chat. DMS, 6 to 27 months. It's standard, I believe. I believe it's standard. We're pretty far off of comboing them here. Kind of in a tough spot. With them having Lurrus and Priest. The problem with Yorion is every deck I want to play requires me to dump more wild cards. That's true, isn't it? Well, that was a very good draw. So, a kind of funny sequence here is I can cast Underworld Breach with Lurrus, and then this lets me Kroxa, but only escape 3 instead of escaping 5. So I like get a discount on the number of cards I have to escape with Kroxa because of Lurrus. And then we're so far ahead here, I think I attack with both of these because they're unlikely to trade, because if they trade that... No, they have to trade, actually, right? Because otherwise they die. Yeah, that's really good for me. or they could just die. Or they could just die. I think Drowned Secrets is really bad. That's a good, solid turn. Yeah, we take those. All right, so we hit the Hawaii 5-0. Put it at a couple of mistakes that let us get by there, but... Thoughts on this? I'm definitely going to put some form of this up on the website. I'm going to message my graphics guy and get a banner for it today when I'm done. Thoughts on things to try. So... Stitcher Supplier seems potentially like a card worth exploring. It's possible that this is better or just different than Secretkeeper. I have liked the 0-4 body that Merfolk Secretkeeper's provided, especially against notably like the Gruul aggro decks. I think this card is very good. There could also be a build where like you just want to linear people, so you like play these and you cut the Agonizing Remorses. The interactive matchups become a lot harder if you do this though, but I could see a world where the format looking like this is better. So that could go either way. I think as far as on the website goes, I'm gonna recommend this main deck. As far as Agonizing Remorse versus Thought Erasure, the Surveil on Erasure is valuable, but so is the Exile on here, and the ability to tag Graveyard. So again, I think that's more of a, what do you want a hedge choice, as opposed to a strictly better, strictly worse choice. Like, Agonizing Remorse is much better than Thought Erasure in the mirror, for example. As far as the sideboard goes, two big oversights in the sideboard that we played today is that we don't have a way to interact with artifacts or enchantments. So I think a couple of Libations would be good. We need ways to take Grafdigger's Cage and Leyline of the Void off the table. And Libation's also fine to bring in against like Wilderness Reclamation decks too. So I think I'd probably trim the Extinction Event and bring in these Libations. Does Libation not deal with Cage? No, it is only enchantments. So as far as Cage goes, there's plenty of different ways to destroy artifacts. Angrath's Rampage is an interesting one. You could also just play, like, Bedevil. So you could play something narrow like Reckless Strike, but we could also just, like, remove some of our anti-creature stuff for Bedevil. Could be fine. Cratermaker's a card. Yeah, this hits 3-mana Ashiok, which is also a card that we care about, which is annoying. Yeah, I could see that. Maybe you swap these Noxious Grasp for a couple of Bedevils. I think I like that at a glance. You can also play some flexible bounce spells like Brazen Borrower or Into the Royal or whatever that Blink of an Eye, whatever that one's called. But I think having just like some hard removal here Bedevil's harder to cast. Yeah, we cast black pretty consistently, though. We have 16 black sources in our mana base. Like, we plan to cast Lurrus. Oh, yeah, you can't play Borrower with Lurrus. Good call. Good call. Yeah, having a random bounce spell in here as a 1-of with Blink of an Eye is probably fine, too. I think this would be my swap-off hand without playing more games. Another thing I would consider post-board, too, if you're looking for board slots, is I'm not confident you really need Unmoored Ego in your 75 in this deck, if I'm being honest. Between the discard spells and Mystic Disputes and, like, Libation and Aether Gust, I feel like you're able to race a lot of the other combo decks in the format, and I feel like Unmoored Ego could largely be unnecessary. So I think it's fine to leave in there too, because you're gonna get mileage out of it overall. But I wouldn't be surprised if you tested the other combo matchups and figured out like, okay, I'd rather this card just be doing something in other spots for us. It's just like not necessary there. Because like honestly, not only just our combo game plan, but even like Lazav plus Kroxa is just like very good against a lot of the other combo decks. You just like pressure them and chew up their hand. All right, we are going to move on to a second historic deck for today that is going to be kind of sweet. We've got a Laturi the Spell Chaser build around here, so we're going to play some blue-red singleton shenanigans. I'm going to go ahead and hit a quick ad roll while I get my deck list flipped over and my client updated. There's a patch that I need to download really quick, so we'll be back in just a few minutes. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere.